Okay, just wanted to show here on my of how I actually modeled the 3D model of the plastic scraper I just did. As you can see here, I am simply right now measuring out the dimensions of them for the attachments for this oscillating multi-tool. You can see I'm inputting the dimensions. Looks like I'm sitting at looks like I'm gonna do about 100 for the top here, and then I'm gonna do about 50 for the bottom originally, and then I change it down to 32 because I measured out the tool of the multi-tool, and it did show that it was about 32 mil there. And then here, I just wanted to have some kind of dimension to reference on. So I ended up putting a line there, and then I used the midpoint of it because I just wanted to have it a little bit shorter. I just felt that all that extra stuff in the back would just be a little bit of a waste. So right now I'm just creating the actual shape of the scraper here. I wanted to do this style as triangular just so that I would have increased area that I would actually cut through. And you can see here that the shape went out pretty well. And then here I'm ending up just doing the dimensions. And then as you can see here, I'm gonna add some fillets to the edge there just so that it is much more of a more rounded surface here. Just makes it look visually appealing as well. And then as you can see, I extruded up, and then I'm going to choose about 5. And then as you can see, as I'm trying to do the chamfer, it doesn't let me select only the edges that I need. So I end up having to create another sketch here that will cut the face here in 2 sections so that only one part of it will actually receive the chamfer. You can see here that I have to extrude down one just so that it is put in as a separate section there, as you can see. But as you see, I make it so that it is basically a perfect chamfer so that it just angles right up. Do about 4, and then as you can see, I try to fix this section here and end up not even bothering and just extruding out to make it a flat surface. And I ended up liking this design a little bit more for it. And as you can see, I still end up trying to fix this thing, and nothing really works out how I like, so I just kind of leave it for now. And then as you can see here, I end up measuring out the pattern, and it looks like it's about 5 millimeters up. So I try to find the nominal dimension for it. You know, there's always a defined edge for a lot of things, especially for universal tools like this. So you just want to look for the nominal dimension, and then you can see I measured them out, and it showed a 2 millimeter diameter hole, which later in the video you'll see it is slightly too small. Just because of the printing tolerances, you always have to add a little bit more. So as you can see, I'm just cutting into the shape here. And then as you can see, I'll finish with the part here and end up naming it. I always try to do this just so that it's easier to export and I don't have to change the names all the time. And then I finally slide it through, and then boom, as you can see, it is now extruded. I throw on the computer settings, and then it is all set up from there. Okay, as you can see, I have here the scraper. This will be the first prototype here. And you can see it's angled at the side there. So the next would be a bad plastic scraper as well. Kind of see it works here. This is only the prototype, it is not a solid piece. You can see the infill going in. I did low walls and thick to save material here. So you can see I just wanted to give it a test out. And as you can see, like I was alluding to earlier, the holes are basically filled in because they're so small and the 3D printer just did not really register them. So you do have to just increase the size of them so by a little bit more, and then it will slot in. But yeah, this one did not work. And as you can see, I'm back to the modeling area in Fusion, and I am just doing that quick modification of increasing the hole size by 1 millimeter all around for each of them. And as you can see, it is a circular pattern, so it basically parametrically will change as when you do constrain it correctly like that, it does dynamically change altogether. So that is a very good tip to do if you ever are modeling in Fusion. Okay, here we go. Got the second version of it set up. See, you take that right off. This looks a lot more solid. We'll be able to work with it. Bring it right over. And as you can see in this clip here, I am just looking to tighten up the multi-tool here, but I was just trying to search for the bit in my little giant large tub of bits, and I just could not seem to find it at all actually. So it did take a couple tries, and then it turned out to not actually be in that section. I was in another part of my container there, and then as you can see it here in the next clip, you can see me finally finding it and finally able to tighten it down like this. And any second, and there it is. Yep, so got it all set up and got it tightened down. And yeah, so I was looking forward to getting this used now that I found the tool. And as you can see here, this is me actually using the tool itself. So this did go very well actually. You can see that it was working quite well for this stuck on adhesive. I believe it's some kind of tape. This steel table here was purchased off of Marketplace for about $20. So it had all types of stickers and junk all over on the top of it. So I just was looking to get this cleaned off, and this tool worked quite well with the oscillating feature. It prevents you from having to just lean into and just destroying your arm. You can just use the tool. Although it is quite loud, albeit though, but it does work very well with removing stickers, especially without trying to damage this table, because it is a metal table, so I don't want to scratch it or anymore. As you can see, it just takes a few swipes and it takes off all that hard plastic stuff with the tape. I'm actually very much glad of how this came out actually. It's actually working quite well. It's really able to get all the hard parts of these stickers off. You can see kind of a side that I have worked on compared to what one that I haven't yet. You can see all that hard plastic is just from the tape. It's just being taken right off. All right, so just wanted to say that this will be the third installment into the year-long challenge. And just wanted to say that I'm really excited with how this came out. And I'm very happy with the performance of it. And I think it's going to work very well. And I'm definitely going to be using this in the future. And for the cost of only 8 grams, it's very much worth it. Yeah, thank you again for watching.